Hello guys, this is Flying Dawn Sports. I'm a huge Tenkaichi fan and last week we had a new trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is essentially Budokai Tenkaichi 4. In that trailer they revealed what looks to be the full character roster, which contains 164 slots. So today I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the full character roster at launch, all 164 characters. Now, Tenkaichi 3 had 161 characters, which means this game has 3 more, and I've seen some people complain about that, but you have to remember that this is a brand new game that has to make all of these character models from scratch, where Tenkaichi 3 had 2 previous games to copy and paste most of the characters from. So 164 characters at launch in this day and age is seriously impressive, and if you're still complaining about that, you're just being entitled at that point. We're sure to get more DLC to add even more characters, and I can only see that as a good thing. Of course, it does mean our wallets are going to hurt, but it is what it is. Before we get into my predictions, let's take a look at what is already confirmed. First off, on the English side, we have official confirmation of the first 24 characters, and guess what? Goku Mid is back, baby! And yes, it is 24 versions of Goku and Vegeta, but that's how Tenkaichi 3 did it, and it's exactly how I like it, because you get anime accurate versions of the characters. Like how Goku early can use Kaioken, and Goku Mid has like slightly fluffier Super Saiyan hair compared to Goku End, and it's little details like that that make me love the series, and I'm so happy they kept this system. Now, over on the Japanese side, they actually have some very important information. It confirmed that Frieza has a super variant. This is the kanji for Cho or super, which is the same that's used for Goku Super as well as Android 17 Super. We have Trunks Fighter, which is the version without the sword. So I'm guessing we'll have the version with the sword again. And Future Trunks, which is I'm guessing what I will now specifically call the DBS version of Trunks with the blue hair. We have Piccolo, but he's just Piccolo. So that might mean there's only one version of Piccolo because in Tenkaichi 3 we had Piccolo early and Piccolo end. Finally, Broly is just called Broly instead of Broly Super. So either that means he's the only Broly in the game and there is no Z Broly, or from now on, TBS Broly will simply be seen as the main Broly. And so he doesn't need Super after his name, and it's only for Z Broly. Personally, I believe we will not see any Z movie content in the base game, or at least very little. And the same for GT, OG Dragon Ball. I think that will all be DLC and it will focus on main series C and Super. The reason for that is that there's simply no room for them, as you will see in my full roster. So let's just get into my predictions. First up, we have Goku. We already know all the Z forms from Tenkaichi 3 are coming. So Goku Z early, Goku Z mid with Super Saiyan, Goku Z end with Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3. And we're getting Goku Super with Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Now, I think we'll also be getting Ultra Instinct Sign and Mastered Ultra Instinct as transformations for Goku Super. Next, we have Vegeta. Again, all the Z forms from Tenkaichi 3 are back. So Vegeta Scouter with Grade 8, Vegeta Z Early, which is a bit of a strange name because Vegeta Scouter should be Vegeta Early. But anyway, this is the regular Vegeta from Tenkaichi 3 with Super Saiyan and Super Vegeta. We have Vegeta End, which is a much better name than Vegeta's second form uh, from Tenkaichi 3, with Super Saiyan 2, and Majin Vegeta, and Vegeta Super with Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Now, adding to that, we'll get Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, also as a transformation for Vegeta Super. They all have all the different Gohans. Kid Gohan, Teen Gohan with Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. Adult Gohan will have split transformations again, where he can turn either into Great Saiyaman or go Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. In Tenkaichi 3, Ultimate Gohan was a separate character, but here I think it'll just be another transformation past Super Saiyan 2. And then finally, that's right, Beast Gohan. I think it will all be one character, just with different costumes for Super, but it will just be one Gohan adult. Also, we'll have Future Gohan with his Super Saiyan transformation. Next, we have Piccolo. He was confirmed as just Piccolo's. So I think he should have a Nail Fusion, a Kami Fusion, a Power Awakened, and finally, Orange Piccolo. I don't have Giant Orange Piccolo on my list, but that's a very good possibility. So maybe you could take out like the Nail Fusion to make room for that. Not sure, but yeah, it's just one character. Then we have some Z fighters, so Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien are all confirmed, and I think Chaozu should also be part of the roster. Then we have Trunks, and I have 4 different versions of Trunks on there. We have Trunks Sword with Super Saiyan, Trunks Fighter with Super Saiyan and Super Trunks, Future Trunks, which is the DBS one, with Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan Rage. And finally, Kid Trunks with Super Saiyan. And we, of course, have Goten with Super Saiyan, and they can fuse into Gotenks with Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 3. Next up, we have two different versions of Vegito. We have Vegito Z with Super Saiyan and Vegito Super with Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Now, let me explain. Initially, I thought it could just be one character, right? But I realized that wouldn't work because Goku and the Vegeta end would fuse into Vegito, and it wouldn't make sense for that Vegito to go blue, right? So that's why there's two versions, a Z version for Goku and Vegeta End, and a Super version for Goku and Vegeta Super. Then we have Gogeta also with two versions. Gogeta Z Super Saiyan is going to be the only Z movie character in my roster because it's a popular character and it makes sense because Goku and Vegeta ends are already in the game, right? So that's why it's there. And then of course we have Gogeta Super with Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Then there's Vidal, who can turn into Great Saiyaman 2. Master Roshi, who can go max power. Supreme Kai, I don't have Kibito Shin on here because I don't have Kibito here either for the fusion, and I didn't really like how they did in Tenkaichi 3, where it was just a power up, which didn't make any sense, right? So I just have Supreme Kai on his own. And we have Bardock. Now for Bardock, I have a split evolution. He can go Great Ape, like in Tenkaichi 3, and we also see briefly in the anime. And he can go Super Saiyan, like an episode of Bardock. It just seems like Super Saiyan Bardock is accepted nowadays, and he's like in every game, and he's a popular character, so I think they will give it to him. And then there's Jacko. He seems to be sort of a main character in Super, so yeah, I think he'll be in. All right, so that's all of the good guys or protagonists or whatever you want to call them. So now I will go through the series by sagas to add all of the bad guys and antagonists, starting with Raditz. So Raditz will have Great Ape, just like in Tenkaichi 3. My reasoning for it is that while it is non-canon, he canonically is able to go Great Ape, of course, and since they went out of their way to make Great Apes a thing with Great Ape Vegeta, of course, it makes sense, to give all of the Saiyans Great Ape again. So I think that's what I'll do. And then when we go to the Saiyan Saga, right, we have Cyberman, Nappa, and Great Ape Nappa. Then we go to the Namek or Frieza saga, starting with Frieza Soldier. Now, I know Frieza Soldier is sort of a meme, and people think he can be cut, but I disagree. I think Frieza Soldier is one of the most important characters in the game. He's a fodder enemy and can be used during Bardock's story, the Mecha Frieza story, and the Resurrection F story, so it's a very versatile character, especially if they give him some different skins. Now, I also have Apule, who is basically just a Frieza Soldier with a name, making him kind of even less useful than a generic Frieza Soldier, but I'm fond of the guy, so I'll put him in. Finally, there's Kui, who I would cut if not for the fact that Vegeta Scouter's ultimate attack is Dirty Fireworks, which he uses exclusively to kill Kui, so it wouldn't make sense to cut Kui. Then we have Dodoria and Zarbon. Zarbon obviously has his beast transformation, and we have the full Ginyu form. And at last, we have Frieza himself. We already know about the super version of Frieza, so that version starts in his final form and can go golden. Z Frieza has all his forms, so first form, second form, third form, final form, and full power. I also have Mecha Frieza as well as a separate character. Then I have King Cold. I'm not really sure if he'll actually be in, but I had a free slot here next to Trunks with his name on it, so I'm just like, let's do it, let's put him in. On to the Android saga. There's Android 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, aka Dr. Giro. 17 is confirmed to have a super version, while 18 is kind of confirmed not to have one, so there's two 17s and just one 18. For Cell, we have all of his forms, so imperfect, semi-perfect, the already confirmed perfect, and of course, super perfect Cell. And then there's also Cell Jr. The Boo saga, I don't really have any of the early characters like Babidi or Spopovich, and I'll go straight to Deborah. Then for Boo himself, we already know Majin Buu is in, so I think we'll get all the other versions as well. Majin Buu, pure evil, Super Boo that can absorb Gotenks and go on to turn into Boo Tanks and Buuhan, and then of course Kid Buu. Moving on to Battle of Gods, we have Beerus and Whis. For Resurrection F, we already have Golden Frieza, and I don't think they'll have any other characters, so they can just use Frieza Soldier for that, right? That's one of the things that he's useful for. Then we get to the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament. I think they'll skip Botemo and Megeta because I don't know how that work in the game, and I think they'll just go straight to Frost. First, they'll have his first form, his third form, and his final form. Then we have Kaba, who can go Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. And finally, we have Hit. I have him as just one character. I know he has this like awoken state, but that can just be a skill, like how Goku early has Kaioken, so I think it will work like that. Moving on to the Future Trunks saga. We of course have Goku Black, who can go Super Saiyan Rosé. Then we have Samasu, and finally fused Samasu and his corrupted state. I know they're not next to each other like they should be, but I wasn't able to get it perfectly aligned, so this is the one time I had to like awkwardly split them up. But in the game, Goku Black and Samasu will be able to fuse into their fused form. And we get to the little tournament before the Tournament of Power. There we have the Trio the Dangers. So Bergamo is already confirmed and he'll have his giant form, I think. And we'll also have Lavender and Basil. Then at the end of the tournament, we have Topo, of course, and Topo will also have his God of Destruction transformation. Now, we finally arrived at the Tournament of Power. We have Caulifla, who can go Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. There's Kale, who can go Super Saiyan 2, and the legendary Super Saiyan Berserk mode she has. And they can fuse into Kefla, who can go Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. From the Pride Troopers, there's Dispo. His super maximum light speed mode will either be part of his ultimate or maybe it will be a skill like Kaioken, but it won't be a separate transformation or a separate character slot, right? It will just be part of his moveset. Jiren is already confirmed, but he will also have his full power transformation. For the Broly movie, we already know about Broly and his Super Saiyan transformation, but he will also have full power Super Saiyan. And finally, there's the superhero movie. We will have Gamma 1, Gamma 2, and the final character coming to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is none other than Cell Max. So there you have it. These are my predictions for the launch roster of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. As you can see, I have included almost all of the relevant Z and Super characters, but a lot of non-canon characters are missing. I went into this with a philosophy of if a character makes it in, it should have all of its forms, and with that, I'm happy with how my roster turned out. I would like to add something like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? But in order to do so, we would also need his base GT, his Super Saiyan, his Super Saiyan 3, and he needs GT Vegeta with Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 4 to be able to then add Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, right? So that's 8 slots right there that I honestly don't know how I'd fit without taking out other characters that I really do feel should be in. And that's not even taking into account like OG Dragon Ball, right? So this is why I strongly believe like all of these will be DLC. And just think about it, right? Just imagine a cooler DLC pack with not just cooler, right? And not just Salsa from who was also in Tenkaichi 3, but all of his armored squadron, right? It would make the game just feel complete. And it also means that the game will be alive, right? Getting content for years to come. And you may not like the concept of DLC, right? But if this game succeeds, it has the potential to be the best Dragon Ball game ever, right? And that's just a really exciting future for me. Anyway, that's it for my predictions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you for watching. Bye.